Okay, hello. So in the previous part we have finished the code part of the two buttons on our workbook. Now we're going to work with the codes of the add or update button. But before that we have forgotten something, that we need to protect our workbook. Why? Because you can add information also using the keywords here, but we don't want this. We want to add or edit the selected using the buttons. So we're going to protect our workbook. How are we going to do this? Using the codes again. Let's add a function. Let's say don't allow, sub don't allow, and we need to select the sheets data dot range, and also the range from A1 to I think we had till 136, as I remember. Yes, 136, but not to A136 to G136, because if we say from A1 to A136, it's going to be like this, only A. But if we select G, from A to G, it's going to be all the table. So we're going to make all the table protected. So we select this range first, and now we're going to make the selection locked property true, and also Selection.FormulaHidden property must be true, and finally we're going to add this property to ActiveSheet.Protect, and that's all. Okay, now this function will never work, but only one time. We have to make it work by clicking this button. When we are in here, it's not important anywhere we select, just we have to be anywhere inside this function. We click on this button, run, and that's all. Our workbook is protected now. As you can see, the cell or chart you're trying to change is on a protected sheet. To make a change, unprotect the sheet. Okay, now what we are going to do is to add codes to the add button. How are we going to add information to a protected worksheet? Of course, by code again. Let's double click on the button. Now as you double click on the add button, you're going to be able to add codes to the button. So here we open the codes of the command button one. Now first of all, we have to unprotect the worksheet, and when we finish our job, when we finish adding or updating, we're going to protect it again. So let's select ActiveSheet.Unprotect, and then sheets data that range from A1 to G136. We have to use quotes again. Dot select selection dot locked will be false, which means take out the selection, remove the lock, sorry, and selection dot formula hidden also false, and that's it. Let's say that we finish editing or updating or adding. Finally, we're going to protect the workbook again. So sheets data dot range A1 to G136 dot select selection dot locked will be true, and selection dot formula hidden will also be true, and ActiveSheet.Protect. That's it. Now between these two code blocks, we're going to add our other options, other functions. First, we need to understand which mode we are, if it is in edit mode or new mode, so that we're going to add a new row or continue from the selected row. So we need a target row. Before that, dim target row. This is a variable which is going to keep the row which is selected, the new row or the selected row. So as integer, so if, how are we going to understand that it is the edit button is selected or new button is selected? Of course, using the mode here. If the edit button is selected, this mode will be edit. If you remember from our other code parts from here in the module, in new record, this range B4 is new. Here B4 is new, while in edit record, when we click on edit, this is edit. As you can see, B4 in engine is edit. So we understand from here, and it's easy to find it is selected add or edit. Now we're going to just write the correct code. Sheets engine dot range B4 dot value equal edit. Sorry, we don't put parentheses here between before or at the end. We just write here sheets engine, which means select the engine worksheet and select B4 range in the engine worksheet, and the value of B4, if it is edit, then what? Then we're going to add this value of the range of the selected, whatever it is, the selected row, how many it is. We're going to assign this value to the target row. Very easy. Target row will be sheets engine dot range. It is B6, I think. Yes, B6, because this also takes the value when we edit it, like let's find it here. Yes, yeah, here it is. Sheets engine dot range B6 dot value is range row, which means the selected row when we click on edit, if it is edit, of course. So we go on like that. B6 dot value. So that's it. Else, which means here, if this is edit mode, then take the selected row and assign it to the target row, to the variable target row. else if it is not in edit mode, so target row is going to be the total row number plus 1, which is logically has to be like that. Target row will be sheet engine that range, and which cell it is, the total row number B3 dot value plus 1, and that's it. Yes, this value is the total row number plus 1 is for the new row, like 2 is the total row number. If we're going to add a new book, it has to be 3. It will start with 3, of course. And we will finish if with and if. Okay. And now what we're going to do is actually very easy to assign the value of these objects, the text boxes and combo box, to the data worksheet cells here. So it's only to write the correct codes again. Sheets data dot range start. We need to start from the start to understand where we are, but we're going to get the distance with offset. If you remember, target row 0. This was for the vertical distance and this was for the horizontal distance. So target row, if it is a new record, it's going to be 3. So 1, 2, 3 down, and 0 is for the number, so for number is 0. For book name it's going to be 1, for author 2, page number 3, genre 4, starting date 5, and finishing date 6. Okay. This is going to be equal to target row, which is, if it is a new record, it's going to be total row plus 1, or if it is the editing record, it again is going to be the target row, which was in here, the selected row. And now we're going to continue with the other sheets. Data dot range start dot offset target row 1 equal now this is going to be the name, the book name. So I think it was TxName. Yes, TxName. Target row comma 1, which means 1 0 1. This is for book name, so TxName, we take TxName. And now we're going to we can copy paste. I will copy this part and paste. Now all we have to do is to change this area. 2 is going to be TxAuthor. 3 is going to be 1 2 3 TxPageNr. 4 will be for genre, so CxGenre, and 5 will be for TxStartingDate, and 6 will be for TxFinishingDate. This is addition. We can delete this. Okay, that's all, but just we need to add another code that will give a message to the user that the addition or the updation is successful. So if sheets engine dot range, we will take the mode here, that before, if the mode is added, value, sorry, added, then this means if the mode is added, then it's going to give a message that this book name was updated successfully. So message box, msg box, we're going to do something like this. We will write the name of the book here, TxName, and again okay, was updated successfully. So this was if the edit mode selected, but else, which means if not edit but new button is selected. So message box again, TxName, was successfully added to the database. That's it. Oh, okay. We need to add another and here. And if, and finally we're going to unload user form 1, user form 1, and that's it. Our codes are ready. We can close the Visual Basic 2. Now our form is already linked. Our button is already linked to the code, so we don't have to link it with macros, etc. So we close Visual Basic again, and now let's add a new book. It's not important whatever I select in here, because adding a new book doesn't care the selected row. I will add a new book. As you can see, rows are empty. So let's take book information, book name, Profetiün, author Reşit Haylamaz, page number 311, genre will be religion, starting date, let's say 18/09/2015, finishing date, let's say 15/12/2015, and let's click add. Okay, there's a problem, I think. Let's open Visual Basic and find the problem. Yes, we have forgotten a O here, as you can see, so that's why it gave an error, a small mistake. Alright, let's go on again, add new book. Let's just make up, it's okay, general. Let's click add. Okay, as you can see now, it shows the book name. This is the book name, was successfully added to the database, and I can see the book name in here. And now I'm going to edit the selected book. Let's check the engine. As you can see, the mode is new, total row number 3, selected row 2. Selected row is not important here because we selected new before. So now I'm going to select the third row and I'm going to edit it. I click to edit book, and now I'm going to change it with real book name, Profetün, author Reşit Haylamaz, 311, genre religion. I make up this page number, I don't know the real page number, but 15.08 2015, 10 12 2015. Let's click update and see if it is going to work or not. Okay, Profetün was updated successfully. Okay, and we can see it in here. Alright, that's all. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, if you think there are some mistakes, please add comments below. Goodbye.